My name is Siim Sikkut. I am the Government Chief Information Officer for the Republic of Estonia, and glad to join this Forum BA again after 9 years. So was actually there many years ago to visit Rome and take part of it. And thanks for the invite, for sharing the lessons from Estonia and the Estonian government and how we have been going digital. In Estonia, we have been building a digital government and country for the last 20 years. And we started doing it because we are so small. We are 1.3 million people. So how to be an effective government if you're that small? Well, you have to be very efficient how we do things. So that's why we started experimenting with digital technology, late 90s onwards. And as these experiments worked, it became a conscious effort. And we made it a strategy to really rely on digital as much as we can. What has taken us so far? So if you jump forward 20 years, where we stand now is that almost anything you need to do with the government, you can do online yourself. There's a digital service for that. So the only exceptions are to get married and get divorced. You still have to show up for these two things. And that's mostly even tradition, not the issue of technology. But we also want to make sure you really know what you're doing if you get married. And because it's legally very consequential, so it's like a risk management issue. But anything else you can think about, any application to the government for some benefits, or any report as a company, anything, whenever you go to see a doctor, whenever you're stopped by a policeman, all of the back end as well as the interaction happens digitally. So all the rest of government services have been digitized. How has that been possible? Well, 3-4 things. First of all, platforms, they help a lot. So platforms like digital identity for the whole country, X-Road for data sharing, by putting in place some building blocks that all different services and agencies reuse, that has made the journey faster, cheaper, and more secure as well. So all the agencies can just build on these building blocks and their own services, and they get ahead with digitization faster, reaching all parts of government. So platforms, laws. Laws are often thought about as removing barriers. We have to remove some barrier to make a service digital, but we have also used laws to basically push us to go digital. So rules like once only, that forces us to exchange data in the backend as opposed to asking citizens the same data again in the next agency. So these sort of rules and laws can really literally enable stronger and faster digitization, and we have used law to exactly give us a kick in the butt, so to speak. Third thing, we have taken very well care of risks. So obviously there are privacy issues that we need to manage, cybersecurity risks we need to manage for, but they can be managed with technology, with how we design the systems, with how we protect them daily, and so on. So risks can be managed, and the risk, strong emphasis and investment into risk management has been a big part of it. And the fourth thing has been, constant sort of experimentation, and we have had leadership that's been very willing to take risks in digitization. So when we started online voting, you can vote for parliament online in Estonia, you can be in Italy and vote for, even European parliament here. This was not done in the world, so many people hesitated, can it be done? But we chose to see how it can be done. So the approach to problem solving and really sort of trying things out and then scaling what works or fixing what doesn't work, that has helped us to really reach the point where we are today with our government and digitization. How has Estonia gotten a high rate of usage of digital services? Well, by a few things. First of all, what we have clearly seen is that if we design services well, if we make them simple to use, people are more likely to use them. It seems natural, but designing things to be simple, easy, intuitive is quite hard. So a lot of focus on user centricity has been a big part of it, and the focus on not just putting a service online, but really thinking, okay, how can we make it the simplest service possible, the simplest interaction possible, whether in an app, web page, whatever. That has been a big part of it, how to get people to use it. But secondly, it's also a design issue. But if service, what we have found, if service brings value to people, if the same time and money and effort, because they don't have to go to stand in a line in an office, they are very likely to use it. If it's also easy to use, of course, but still, if it gives them some value, they will start using the services and learn more and want to do more and ask the same agencies to do it the same way. And the third thing is training and skilling and obviously connectivity. So how to get people to use stuff, they have to have the ability to do so. So we have, through the years, done a lot of really basic awareness raising among population, from children to elderly. And we joined forces with private sector. in this, because we all have interest that more people would use things online. The banks have that interest, utilities have that interest, so on. So we have literally pooled money and effort together to bring people online more, and this has also greatly contributed to why they use services so much. So making things simple, the design of services, if they bring value and if people have skills, connectivity, that's when you get people online and to use the public services there. Indeed, Estonia, I said before, has greatly benefited from having platforms that connect the government together and the building blocks that different agencies use. One of the most fundamental platforms there is X-Road, which is a platform, or even more like a protocol, a common way to exchange data, to share data between agencies and information systems for a seamless integrated service. How does X-Road work? Well, first of all, it's only technology, obviously. So if you want to have an integrated service, the service has to be built and designed this way. So if you want to have, for example, a very streamlined tax reporting, it means that in Estonia, for example, we build tax reporting in a way where we pre-collect data based on either available records or data that other parts of government already have. We present it back to you, and then for you, the service is just a review. You go as a citizen, as a resident. I go in and I just check my income declaration. Next. A few clicks, I'm done in 3 minutes with manual taxes. This is possible because it's been designed to be simple and sort of based on reuse of data and integrated like that. What makes it happen technologically? That's the X-Road. So X-Road brings together more than 1,500 government systems, databases, agencies like that throughout the whole government and beyond, including banks and others who have some part of public service they provide. So X-Road is a common way for them to exchange data. It makes them technologically interoperable. If a system is connected to X-Road once, it's immediately technologically interoperable with all the rest of government and everybody else on the X-Road ecosystem. So it's a very powerful sort of network effect we are raising with this platform. And so technology helps a lot in the way as well. If we have these platforms that allow to glue the government together like that, not just that make the design happen in terms of technical feasibility. X-Road, we estimate it saves us at least sort of everyone annually 100 years of work time for the whole economy, if not more. So it's very influential in terms of simplifying services and saving time in the whole economy and in the government as well. And finally, I still go back to the beginning of my talk that what has made integration happen has also been laws and rules that have forced us to offer a seamless and integrated service for people. So exactly bringing in a rule of once only, which means that the next agency cannot ask you again for the data that you already given to some other part of government. It's so powerful in terms of scaling and pushing wide adoption of X-Road and pushing for design to be simpler. So what we have seen is a trick service design that's enabled by technological platforms that allow for interoperability, and then rules that push all of these to be used throughout the government. I started by saying that Estonia went digital because we are so small and we had to be very efficient in how we do things. And we see now that artificial intelligence is the next great enabler of efficiency for us. Because it unlocks technologically several new ways of doing government work more effectively that were not possible before, because literally we can rely more things on the machines. So just to give a few examples of the 100 or so AI use cases we have live in our government or in works in our government. In our parliament, there are no more people, typing up proceedings or minutes of the meetings. So, based on what's happening in the parliament in real time, the machine is doing the transcription. Same thing in courts now. We obviously monitor what's happening in our networks. So we use it for cybersecurity and keeping our government systems more secure by finding patterns of that might be regular or suspicious. We are doing inspections better and more targeted. For example, our agricultural agency has trained machines to understand from satellite images if agricultural subsidies are being properly used. So previously they went blind into doing inspections in the countryside. Now they know where to go for, and they are more effective in terms of the inspection work that they do. And obviously grants are better used from government side. I could go on and on. There's many cases in terms of optimization of government procedures, more targeted work, finding out new sort of services of value to unlock, etc., etc. So the classical AI use cases that we can bring to government and like that. But it's not just efficiency. So we are also after, we see that AI could really make our government user experience get to fundamentally new level, and we can make services even easier to use than they are today. And this is we really believe that the future of interfaces and interaction with any services is through virtual assistants in your phone, in your fridge, in your car, so on. It's the Siris, the Google assistants, and these sort of smart AI-based voice commanded assistants that will be your gateway to getting things done. Same thing in government. So we want to be one of the first governments to unlock, enable access to all of our information through virtual assistants, and you can get any transactions done through virtual assistants with our government. So we are basically bringing that. We have services online already. So we are bringing them to be accessible through virtual assistants now. And this is because, why we're doing it? Because what's the most common way to interact for us as humans? Voice, like we talk now here. So virtual assistants can unlock this now, and we can, get even more people to use services online this way. So we have this vision and the roadmap for virtual assistant-based government and services that we're building out now, and like I said, we believe it will radically make it simpler to get things done with our government. And so that many ways AI can help. We are very optimistic about it. Obviously, we had to do things properly. So we have built up quite a lot of elaborate framework in terms of how we watch out for possible risks for AI. But that's the risks involved in whatever we do in life. In any digital step we do, there are risks involved. You just have to manage for them. It's the same thing with our AI. No reason to sort of fear it more than other tools we use. All in all, I hope you've gotten a glimpse of Estonian digital journey. You've gotten a glimpse of the things we do with AI and so on for the next stage. From Estonian side, we are always very happy to share with Italy, with everyone else, sort of how we have been doing things, if there are things that you can take on board there. We believe we have benefited a lot as Estonian government from learning from others, and as well as taking solutions from others. So if there are things we can share and you can reuse, just ask. Very happy to help digitalization go forward in all of Europe and all of Italy as well. Thank you.